I've been staying up all night, staying up all night, staying up all night.
There we go.
There. But yeah, dude, welcome Suril Patel.
Cheers, man.
For those of you who don't know, Suril has been basically responsible for almost all of Daddy Nat's photography that you've seen. Definitely stuff you see on my profile today. Spotify from day one. I mean, probably a few photos that like were done on an iPhone by a few other people, but like all my professional shit has been done by you.
It's cool to see it on Spotify.
It is cool to see on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
And the numbers just, they just keep on
Keep going up.
slowly going up. So, yeah, dude, it is cool to see it on Spotify, but it's also cool to see you thrive and kind of, see you, honestly, just this whole circle, including Lucky Roll with Ricky and Mal that came through. I don't know. Everybody's just slowly elevated their game since we all sort of connected in 2018, 2019 and kind of became, homies. And we've kind of been able to overlap in a lot of ways, like having you come do photography for me. So thought it was very appropriate to have you on and,
Yeah. I appreciate
talk
it.
a little bit about you, bro. So yeah, I mean, this is very informal for the most part, but you want to tell kind of, the audience a little bit about you, maybe, your background, where you come from, where you grew up, stuff like that.
Yeah, man. So I actually was born in India. I don't even know if you knew that.
I think we've talked about this
Possibly,
once,
yeah.
and I wasn't sure. If I was going to guess right now, audience, I was going to say
no.
he was born in the outskirts of San Antonio. Maybe in Dallas, maybe somewhere around there, but no, that's badass, dude. Well,
So I was like less than 2 years old.
Okay.
We moved to East Texas.
Oh, really? East Texas, dude? I
yeah.
didn't know you moved to East Texas originally.
Yeah, I lived in Lufkin, Texas. You know where that is?
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Athens, right?
It's like I think pretty close by.
Yeah, we're all a little ancestral out there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Different families. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
but yeah,
on the
and
Patels.
I basically grew up in San Antonio, and I moved to Austin in 2018. No, end of 2017, basically 2018.
hold on, I want to back up just one. How long were you in Lufkin?
Maybe I was like 7 or 8.
Okay, so you were
Yeah.
very young there, right?
Yeah, I grew up there, and then I grew up in San Antonio after. I guess both
Okay,
places.
so like 2
I was
to
there
8,
long enough.
You were in
Yeah,
Lufkin, and then you went to San Antonio and
Yeah.
had really figured out who you were.
yeah.
as
I
a
did
human
live in
being.
Mississippi for like one random year and a half.
That's cool. And your
in there,
folks
yeah.
just were traveling around with work and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're just looking for different opportunities.
Wow, man. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I always say this. I'm not an immigrant. I'm a 7th generation Texan white boy, but I grew up around a lot of immigrants, and I grew up a lot around people who are just I don't know, respect the hustle, respect the grind, respect the willingness to do it all, just like your parents had the willingness to do it all for you to kind of get you over
Yeah,
here.
reminded me, I was listening to yours and Lucky Roll's podcast, the first one.
Yeah, bro, we talked
And
about
y'all
that a lot
talked
as well.
about that because they're from Mexico.
Exactly.
And so yeah, I feel like that's one thing me and Ricky always had in common. I feel like growing up, our family had to work for it, and we're having to work for it,
Yeah.
And everything is built from scratch.
And you see
Yeah.
that, I don't know, you see that, I don't know, you see what life really is, I feel like, from that as well. A lot of people who grew up in the environments that I grew up in were very sheltered. And so a lot of things that they saw, not necessarily me, but a lot of my homies, didn't really have, a lot of, or they just didn't see any struggle. They just saw, their parents were doctors or something like that. And,
Yeah.
their life was, kind of, from the start, gonna be better than their parents' lives were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's interesting, right?
Yeah, man. It's I feel like I'm blessed to have gone through it all, and the way I grew up. I feel like it made me appreciate everything I have and everything that I earn, and every experience, honestly, because I've seen from as a kid what I wanted to be, and slowly making baby steps to getting where I want to be is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
And you also grew up around a lot of, it's, for those of you who don't know, you might have put together, Suril grew up with Ricky. So Suril grew up in San Antonio with Ricky, with Mal, from Lucky Roll. So we have a lot of mutual friends, a lot of mutual homies.
For sure.
You also grew up around some people who've been very successful in the entertainment industry, like JC, there's several people from San Antonio that I know that were in your crew. So how was that? What was that like? You know what I mean? Growing up kind of around, I feel like a lot of people were inspired to go get it. Where
Yeah.
and like at least in your circle, you know, of friends, like all you guys are go getters from my recollection.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because everyone's like our like group from back home. Like we
Yeah.
all know each other since like middle school, high school, and we all do such different things. Like we have a golfer in our group. We have like a YouTuber, right?
Yeah, sure.
A DJ.
You have a golfer in your
photographer.
group? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you met him once, but yeah. So it's
like
like
a
super,
bad as fuck golfer or what?
He's really good.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So yeah, he's one of my best friends.
Let's
so.
go. I didn't realize that. Okay, I probably
Yeah,
haven't
man.
met him. Is it birthday or something like that?
Yeah,
maybe?
for sure.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, I feel like it was weird like seeing like the people that are doing stuff now, like they've always kind of had that like mentality or hustle.
Sure.
I don't think I ever had that in high school, or like maybe it grew in college. I think when I was really challenged in school is when I actually like really sat down and like figured shit out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I was
Like naturally inclined to like.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
like other people
You
like
just wanted to party or what?
no, not even that. I was like just very like my parents just held me to a very high standard for like school, and so
got it,
I was
got it, good
always like
grades.
studying. And my parents
Interesting.
like let me play sports like growing up, but like
Sure.
they didn't like dedicate enough time to where I was like gonna do it. They'd rather I think have me.
They wanted you to go
Been on
all
the
in
academic
school.
side. Yeah.
Interesting. And wait, where did you go? Wait, did you go to college? Where did you go to college?
Texas Tech
Oh, you went to
in Lubbock.
Lubbock, bro.
Yeah.
What was that like, dog?
Yeah, very flat. Super flat. I think when I got there, it wasn't a dry county anymore. So like before you could.
Oh, it just so there were a lot of so
You couldn't buy
you
alcohol.
graduated in 2012, right?
11 high school, right?
High school, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
hi-
So
11.
like there were a lot of Texas counties that were. I graduated in 2010. That's right, because Ricky's one. Yeah, he's right. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up, my hometown wasn't dry my entire life, and then I left, and then when I came back from college and
Oh, it
turned
was?
21, it was wet. So I was like, wow, this is
Huh.
crazy, right? Like, but it was very
Wow.
random for most Texas most Texas places were dry.
Which is really
historically.
weird. I feel
Which
like
is
in
dumb.
Texas doesn't make
so
sense.
dumb. It doesn't. Everybody drinks here. Also, everybody gambles. You know,
Like-
there's nothing you can do about the
Like
gambling.
whiskey and beer are a very Texas thing.
Bro, Lone Star, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, what's like
Topo Chico?
yeah,
Oh, no,
Topo
maybe
Chico.
that's
I mean, that's
Mexico.
well. Let's be honest. All Texans are actually originally from Mexico. If you're actually
Yeah,
from
for
Texas,
sure.
right? So,
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Is it good?
It is good, dude. I like it. So where'd you just picked up a couple? You got? Did we get two different ones?
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
strawberry
I got a
strawberry
ranch water?
guava.
Is yours a ranch water? Or no,
No, it's not ranch water. I
like
figured
the
you
ranch
like
waters.
ranch water, so
Yeah, I mean they're very
Yeah.
like I don't know if these things start in Austin, but sometimes I feel like old fashions. Nobody had a full old fashioned in 2009. I mean, you were beyond hipster if
So-
you had an old fashioned in 2009.
or just like
Maybe
old.
I'm an idiot. You know,
No, I
it's
don't-
very
maybe-
possible.
maybe it
but
was
I
just-
did not see a lot of motherfuckers having old fashions until time went on, and now everywhere old fashioned, and then somebody holds you this nasty ass cup with like one little baby ice cube in it and all these bright pink cherries. I don't know. It's just
Oh yeah, the cherry.
it's just not really. An
Well, maybe it's
old-fashioned.
just because did you drink in 2009?
I did drink in old 2009. I
Oh.
did not know what an old fashioned.
I was like, I don't think I drank in.
Old fashions have been
2009.
around a long time. I'm a little bit of an idiot right here, but I'm just saying. I feel like they
No,
became super popular.
the hype.
Also, ranch waters,
Yeah.
where nobody talked about ranch waters 3 years ago, and now everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you don't drink ranch waters?" Like I'm telling.
It's like it's all like a fad now. Yeah.
It is,
As soon as
bro.
it comes into a can, dude, it's all. There's too many companies. Way too many.
It's funny, dude.
It's insane.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I mean, I'm eventually gonna start an alcohol. Like my goal is to
You should.
make Daddy Nat like, I don't know.
You have to keep up with Happy Dad, Daddy Nat, and
Well,
Happy
so
Dad.
that's my goal is to like fucking. I have thought about going and doing basically like a campaign on TikTok to where I basically 100% target Happy Dad to basically get them to use some of my songs and some
Oh.
of their material, and maybe at the most I'd get out of it is like Happy Dad for a year. I don't know, something like I don't really care what I'd get out of it, but at the end of the day, it would be like fun to do a collaboration with them because
That would be really cool.
I mean, you know, a lot of people probably hate Nelk out there, but they're saying exactly what they think, and not enough people do that.
There's no like bullshit.
There's no
behind
bullshit,
them.
and that's all that I want to do.
I like them.
That's all that I want to do with my platform, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, look, man, like I may not have all the exact same viewpoints, and honestly, no, I feel like they do have some controversial opinions sometimes, just to be funny. Like they're just.
I mean, if you have a
just,
chance to be friends with Trump, then like you're not gonna be like, nah.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, but even that, it's like, even then, it's like, you know, regardless of my political views, I don't know that I'd ever go up to say what up to Trump. Like, you know, on a like if I was put in the same position that they were, that's a bold fucking thing to do, bro. So I guess they already did it because Dana White and all that stuff back in the day. But it's just interesting, man. Like, I think
they're super bold. They do shit I would never do.
you know, well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's like there's a lot to be respected there. I also think like Steve Will Do It just fascinates me, and everything that he's been able to pull off is just this dude who's just insane. And then Kyle basically just said, "Hey, I've seen you do some ridiculous shit on YouTube and Instagram. Come join the team." Yeah. And like, look at him now, bro. Like,
oh wait, so they didn't do it. They didn't like join it together.
They were not Toronto homies. Like Jesse and it's so funny. We're diving deep in the Nug Boy stuff, but you know Jesse and Kyle, right? Yeah. Jesse and Kyle were the OGs with a couple others. I can't remember who the others were. Then Jesse went sober, and I think he went sober or something like that. And then what is his name? I'm blanking on him right now. Salim. Oh my god.
He came on.
He's so amazing, bro.
Salim's crazy.
He's so fucking funny, bro.
The moan in the ear at the grocery store.
So have you seen like his more recent videos, bro?
I haven't, no.
Bro, he does this one. He goes to like all the places in the mall, GameStop, all these places, which I love to see because he's like big as fuck now. So somebody's gonna figure out who he is. Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, can I sign up for your rewards program?" And they're like, "Sure, yeah, you can sign up for our rewards program." And then he'll be like, "What's your email address?" And he's like, you know, "My dad gives me heart-throbbing cock at gmail.com.
Oh my god.
Like, dude, he just goes in, bro. Like, he'll just like say the most ridiculous things, dude. And then the lady behind the register is just like, "Sir, do you have another email?" And I give him another email, and it's even 10 times worse. So I find shit like that. If you have the ball sack to do that,
yeah.
It's different when like celebrities for other things doing it. Like Sean O'Malley, I've seen do some like pranks from the UFC recently. Mm-hmm. But when you see somebody like him do it, bro, when you see somebody like Salim, the guys who were trying to be Jackass 2.0 without any of the lifelong head injuries, like.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I love it, bro. I just love it, man.
It's like stuff that you know, like you and your friends are like, yeah, we want to do this, like do this kind of prank, but like you never actually go do it because you're like, all right, it's a little out there, bro. Like, you get into some shit, but they also have like bodyguards everywhere they go. So
well, they do now.
Yeah, now for sure.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, reminiscing, but it's stuff like that. It's just like, you know, I do wish to. I'm talking about Happy Dad. It's so funny. We're talking about alcohol.
We can circle back.
I just want to I do want to just build a brand for Daddy Nat so that I can go and do other things on it. And I don't know, definitely wouldn't be like Daddy Nat alcohol or something like that, but it would be big enough to where, I mean, that's what all entertainment people do. You know, it's definitely a big one. But I think I
see with a hat.
Yeah, you know, well, you know Alvy's, hat. Right? Sponsored by Alvy's, the Daddy Nat podcast. You know, what's Polar about?
I got this on a trip. In like an outdoor store on the Olympic coast.
Well, you've been traveling all over the world since I met you. You've been travel a lot, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I try to make it a priority.
What'd you say?
I just make it a priority. I think in my life to travel, and then I feel like a lot. This is the first year. I feel like maybe it kind of started last year, right?
Sure.
Where like opportunities now are just kind of
where you're like, oh, I can travel and I can make money at this opportunity.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, so my girlfriend actually just moved to Denver for like a remote job or a contract job, and so I'm like able to go network in Denver whenever I'm there, and just linking up with different brands, breweries, and stuff like that, whatever's big there.
For sure.
And so trying to kind of network all around. So it's been super helpful to like go travel places. You can, if you're at a cool store, like
Denver's kind of a sister city to Austin as well, right?
Yeah, it's pretty similar for sure.
Yeah.
I think the people are a little different, but
yeah,
they're a little more like outdoorsy, hardcore. Like when you're at the club, like people have like a farmer's tan and.
Oh, for real? That's
Yeah,
funny.
you could see it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's definitely like a little bit like, there's a lot of people in Austin who are like slick, like club people. You know, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like they're like New York go outers.
They're
you know
like
what I mean? They're like go to the right
table
they go to
buyers.
a certain place, they go to another place. They like, or maybe
Yeah.
they just go to speakeasies, but they like only go to like a certain few clubs. You know what I mean?
For
There
sure.
are, what I'm saying is Austin like provides, I would say, just about any scale that you want to go to
Of nightlife.
you can go to. You know what I mean? So if you like
Yeah.
want to go super posh, you can go super posh. If you want to go super hole in the wall, you can go super hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Probably predominantly hole in the wall, but you know, there's a lot of options here.
There's yeah,
Whereas in
there's
like
huge.
Denver, not saying there aren't a lot of options there either, but I am saying that like I feel like it in, you know, I don't know that the nightlife would compare to Austin's nightlife.
No, so I went like a couple weeks ago, right?
Sure.
We went to this bar. It was super packed. Like you can't, like everyone's like a sardine in a can, and so it gets popping, right? But
Yeah.
it's not like Austin. Like you don't get the DJs like Austin. You don't get the same, I don't know, like vibe. Like here, I feel like it's just like it's a better nightlife for
Well,
sure. It's gotten better over the years. I feel like. too.
Yeah, well, the DJ life has grown a lot here in the last like decade, I'd say. Like,
Yeah.
you know, incredible.
And just live music in general, not just
yeah,
DJs.
for sure, for sure.
They have
But
Daddy
no,
Nat
live
now.
music has historically been in Austin, like bands and like fucking guitars and shit. You know what I mean? Whereas pop and hip hop has not. It's had more shine than most electronic music, I'd say, but it hasn't been like, you know, like there's still not a true pop star to come out of Austin. I plan to be the fucking biggest. I hope. I mean,
There you go.
Abby's crushing it. I give all the respect to Abby.
Yeah.
Probably leans a little bit more hip hop than pop, but like he's crushing
I
it.
think
you know
you're
what I mean?
more, yeah, like pop, like kind of.
I want to be more pop.
Yeah.
Like I make a lot of hip hop records. This is my problem. I make so many records that I really enjoy. In fact, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to release over the next, couple months is going to be hip hop.
Mhm.
But I have a lot of pop records coming on afterwards, and I want to make contemporary music. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. So.
Yeah, I think you're doing a pretty good job so far.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Sorry, what were we talking about before that?
we were like, the last thing was Happy Dads.
Happy dads, yeah. We've talked about a lot here. Well, let's go back on track here for
Yeah,
a second.
man, for
Maybe
sure.
So you're a photographer.
Yeah,
You have a passion for it. You know what I mean? You also have a passion for business, obviously. Anybody who's successful in this industry has to have a passion for both, in my opinion, or has to at least, see the vision for how to grow, their income. Like I always tell people with music, for example, dude, like at the end of the day, like when I release a song, like it becomes an asset, and sometimes those assets like can make as much money as a real estate asset would over time.
Mhm.
Sometimes they can make much less than that, but like if you do it correctly,
no, for sure.
like
over time,
if I had 21 nights out there or whatever doing, or songs doing as good numbers as one
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
like dude, that's appreciating real estate. You know what I mean? It really is an asset, and so I do think about business and art being, very important, but I do think it's a little more black and white for somebody who's in photography and like art. So I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
like your, like how you got passionate about photography. Like
Okay.
when did the, switch flip? Tell me about was there something before photography? Like, tell me about,
yeah,
how did you really get here? Like, I mean, like when was a spark there, and it can go back from when you were a kid to things you can think of, like, but
Mhm.
I always like to start with what got, especially the musicians who've been on here, what got them addicted to music, what channeled that, what moment gave them that. So
a breakup or something.
well,
No.
yeah, maybe it was, bro.
Yeah.
For me, it was from the time I was a little kid. I always knew I could sing, and I knew that I had some music move me in a way, and
For
that's
sure.
the only reason I'm still doing this. The only reason I'm still doing it is because I feel like I have a gift. You know what I mean? And that's cocky, conceited, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, low key. Tell me about like
Yeah.
how you stumbled across this
Um,
gift.
So, dude, actually, which is weird. I didn't even think about this until like the other day.
Sure.
So I guess maybe my first like true interaction with photography or any kind of creative work. So well, let me take it back a little bit more.
Sure.
So me and my brother are like really good at. We were growing up. We were really good at drawing.
Okay.
And so I actually went to school for architecture, in college for about like a year. I think a year and a half.
You're really good at
and-
drawing.
Yeah, I was like really good. I could just
Before
I could
photography?
draw. Yeah. This is before I ever picked up a camera.
So you can
at
still
all.
draw obviously today.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was really into like design, right? Like I always knew I wanted to create.
Sure.
And so maybe that wasn't my outlet.
Sure.
Right. So I could look at something and like draw it.
But you always had
wasn't
style.
as-
You also, even the way you dress, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you can tell when a motherfucker like has like I'm for real, bro.
Thank you.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
you can tell when a motherfucker has like taste in stuff. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, we can go deeper into it. That
Sure.
kind of brings me to something else. But
Yeah,
but yeah, so I grew up just having time on your hands as a kid. I would take I think I had my first like phone. It was like the first like smartphone, like a Droid or whatever.
Oh wow, got you. Yeah.
And I would use it to take photos, and then like we use our family camera. I would take some photos,
Sure.
and I would like edit them on the Windows editing
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, bro.
But I never that was like a very short moment, short lived. And then I went to college. I got into architecture, right, and I changed majors, got out. But I actually, at the end of college, I was just camping a lot and like going outdoors.
Sure.
And so you go to cool places and that are really scenic. I just like realized I was like I need a better camera to get like better photos of these places
Sure.
that we're camping at and stuff. And then slowly it built up, graduated. I went on this really big road trip with our buddy Tade. I think you met him. And we were like 2 weeks. We drove from Austin to San Francisco and like back around.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so we were just like driving down the coast, coming back to Arizona and
That's
stuff.
epic.
And so that's when I got, I think, really like passionate about like maybe landscape stuff. I
How
was
old
all
were you this time, maybe?
I was 23. I had just turned 23, and I was actually really bad still. Like
And you
I had
graduated college around 24?
23.
Or 23. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
This was right after
Ricky
graduation.
also graduated around
He graduated like a
couple years later, a semester later?
a semester
Okay,
or
yeah,
something.
Got you, yeah.
But yeah, so when I graduated, like I had a job lined up, and I was able to like travel a lot, and I had this like crappy DSLR camera I would take on these trips with me.
Sure.
And I guess like my editing was getting better, right? Like, and I got into like Adobe Lightroom, and I already had like Photoshop experience from being in architecture school before, so I kind of like had familiar.
Anybody who's like really like on the internet like that, like I mean, I remember I like got into Photoshop originally because I was trying to make memes. You know what I mean? Like, you like eventually you stumble across that shit.
Now you're trying to make thumbnails, right,
dude? But the funny thing is, bro, is like there was a cat. My neighbors showed me this website. What is it called? Photo P or something. It's basically like a Photoshop, but you do it in a URL. It's like a website, and it basically gives you access to 95% of Photoshop's features for free.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just interesting because accessibility is at a whole nother level right now in terms of like resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with YouTube, bro. Think about how much you can learn off of YouTube.
No, for sure. That's where I learned everything, right?
Bro,
so
all
like
of us. That anybody who's really doing it,
it's all
been their best
YouTube
friend,
Academy.
You Google and YouTube for real.
Yeah,
and Reddit maybe.
So I guess going back to that story, right?
I
graduated and I was traveling a lot more, right? I was living at home, so I had like extra money to go fly like once a month.
SA? You were living in
SA?
Yeah,
and I would fly somewhere once a month, right?
Cool.
And I would take these cameras, and then slowly I was upgrading cameras, and I was just trapping myself in my room, just like Lightroom for like 12 hours, trying to get like whatever color I was like envisioning.
So you do like color correction? Is that sort of like a
color
thing?
grading? I like fucking love. Yeah. So that was like my huge thing. I really want to get good at it, and this is like the time where like Instagram photography is like really really growing and like travel whatever, right?
Yeah,
so I just got really into it, and then I knew I wanted to take it like more seriously, and I was like, I can't really. To me, I couldn't do it in San Antonio. Like I needed somewhere with more just like action, more creativity, more creatives around me too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I moved up here to Austin. And
that's why?
That was probably the biggest reason why. Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to grow my photography. Is why I moved up here. Yeah.
Right
and
on.
I just needed like a change,
You didn't want to go to LA. You were just like, let me go somewhere that's like closer to the family, like
for sure
shit or whatever.
Yeah. I knew I was like, at the time, I thought I was gonna get to LA. That's what I thought I wanted, but not.
So did I.
Yeah, I think we both had a conversation when we were in LA.
Yeah, 2019, 2020. Yeah, bro. Yeah. It was like that was. I mean, I was pretty determined at the end of 2019, 2020 that I was gonna move to LA. There's still some benefits and reasons why I may have to. I mean, in the next 3 or 4 years, like, I mean, that's kind of I look at it as being like my next my timeline for really like getting to my next milestone. Obviously I want it sooner, but that's how long I that's
record labels are out
yeah
there.
Bro, it's like from my perspective there are some benefits for doing that, but also I think Austin's has every characteristic of becoming the next Mecca. And I do want to move beyond Austin. Sure, I want to be bigger than Austin, but I also want to put Austin on my back and change the music industry here forever. My biggest goal is to like when I really think about my like legacy long term would be to have a record label who put other artists on who are young, and produce for them and do all that stuff.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Long term. That's like, 10 years down the line. That's what I'd like to do. So I feel like if the right opportunity shows up, I'm never going to say no. You know what I mean? But
no, for sure.
Until it does, I'm not moving out there.
Yeah. No, with those
Austin's
taxes.
way fucking doper than that. And it's like Austin ain't even everything anymore. You know what I mean? It's like Austin's changed a lot.
It's changed since I've been here over 4 years and like.
Bro, I've been here 8 years and it's changed a motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bro. And I ain't even been here that long. There's so many fuckers who've been here for a long time.
Yeah, dude. All these places getting torn down and stuff. But anyways, going on a circle all the way back. No, you're good.
Going back, baby.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so I moved here, right? And there's way more models, like, using Instagram to be able to like work with people and
networking, all that stuff.
Was growing like, I think shooting with others like really helped me grow like creatively, and like also had way more photos to be able to like practice and like learn.
More competition here for sure.
Way
That's
more
one of the
competition.
best things about Austin is it's the best thing about any city is more competition. Yeah,
for sure. And that's also, I feel like, strong economy, right? Too. So I feel like we got job security here a little bit.
Facts.
But yeah, so going through like the process of learning, getting better, right? And I had booked a gig. I guess somebody liked my travel photos. Yeah. And they were like this is my first shoot. I was actually just talking to somebody about this today, and they were like, "What was your first shoot?" And it was at this ranch in Uvalde. Wow. And it was kind of weird, right? It was guns. Yeah. It was like all guns and like military grade, like fully automatic, and like they had tanks, and
I think I remember this.
And it was like
you
exotic animals and stuff, and they were just like, bring models and like come like have a good time and we'll pay you, right? And I was like, this is not. I thought it was a scam. I had to call the guy. He had a signature, and I was like, this is gonna like go to like telemarketing or something.
Right,
like,
right.
It seemed too good to be real for my first paid shoot, right? And I didn't even get paid.
The
that
internet
much.
really does be like that, guys. Like the thing is,
you don't know.
99% of it is bullshit, but
sometimes some really weird opportunities
I get
come.
emails all the time that are legit as fuck. I mean, it's crazy.
Or you don't even know who sees like your profile or who sees your photos.
Like
or
once
something.
I started to realize that like there are people out in these circles of people that I would like to be connected to and have been connected to. That like that Ari guy who fucking threw me on that playlist or whatever for Golden Hour, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like
now my favorite playlist,
bro. Like, dude, there's nothing. Well, that's so funny because, dude, that's the fucking funny thing. Surreal actually fucks with like Daddy Nat core music. Like,
it's
like
super good, dude.
You've been a long time supporter, and I appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
And I
you
thank you so much for
support
saying
me
that.
too.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But also, like, but I can tell you really like it. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's natural it's music that fits your palate. So I appreciate that, man.
For sure,
Because, like, Lucky Roll sometimes, I think they kind of listen to my music. They're like, oh, this is really cool or whatever. But, like, it's very outside of their world of, like, the music they make. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah, everyone has, like, their, their taste or their niche. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, man. So, back to this guy, it was legit. Talked to him on the phone. He was like, drive down, pick a weekend, pick people, come, and it was like the most insane weekend. We like it was the first time I shot a gun, and it was like a semi-automatic. It was like a Uzi or something, and we rode in a tank, and we like there were like flamethrowers.
What year was this? Did I know you when you did this?
I don't think so. I think I had just met you.
You showed me some shit about this.
It was in 2018.
And I was like, "What in God's name?"
Yeah, it was like some like guy got like a lot of money from like some company, and he made like a little dream world on this ranch in South Texas, and so it was a crazy time.
Dudes
there was giraffes,
weird, bro.
There was ostriches, like crazy animals, and like So that was my first gig, and then I was like, okay, now I can get paid, from
facts.
From doing this.
Oh, I can make money from this. Yeah.
I had never thought about it. And like, dude, even to this day, I always like think about it. Like, I would still do this for free.
Well, so that's kind of the big, yeah, bro.
I would still do it. I would
Huge,
still
bro.
do it every day. Like, I don't know.
That's kind of the hard thing about like. That's the one thing that I always
But
have
I won't
respect
do
about
it for free
photography or drawing or like doing music videos or whatever. It's like part of me does think that like I would hustle in a different way if I did that. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
bread is real. Whereas like, I mean, a motherfucker offered me like $1,500 for a feature the other day, and I'm not going to do it. Like, I could do with that $1,500. Do not get me wrong. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can't do that. I can't release a song that has my name on it that I don't believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's like,
you
so
have
it's
to
like,
believe in it.
You have to be careful with that. And there's in plenty other ways. Like, if somebody offered me to write for them or they do something like that, definitely into that. But like, you know.
No, that's how I feel
weird,
too.
right? Isn't it weird? So talk to me about that. Like, how does that happen? Because like when you're doing photography, it's like some people want something that isn't truly an artistic vision, perhaps, and they think they know what it's going to look like, but it doesn't actually turn out to be that way. So like, how do you go through that process? Like,
yeah, so I feel like, well, I guess kind of relating to what you said, right? Like you don't believe in the vision of that song or whatever, that track, and that's, I feel like, same way with like a shoot or just like some project or whatever. Like if I don't know, if I don't believe in it, like I'll turn it down. Like if I don't see that vision, or like I don't know, like if I don't mess with that,
or you don't feel like you might be able to
that
pull
aesthetic,
it off
or if I can't pull it off. But
that's one of the big things for me is like, bro, like you're asking me to do something that's going to take a lot more money or a lot more resources.
Well, then that's when like they need to like come forth too, right? Like I can get more people. Facts. And so I can always do more.
Sure.
But like sometimes the vision is just not there. Like it's not my like cup of tea.
Sure.
So like now I've been, in the last year, I've gotten way more specific, and I pretty much only do like commercial work.
Wow.
So it's only with companies and brands.
Smart.
Yeah. And I've kind of phased out of like portrait.
Money's a whole lot more fluid in those scenarios than they are from independent person's individuals, checking account.
I think, yeah.
For
I
real.
think also too, like, it's also finding the perfect client, right? And like or like not even a perfect client, but like when a client appreciates your work and knows like they understand that you understand their vision and their branding and everything, and you can get it down, like they trust you, wholeheartedly. And I have some companies that like completely trust me. They'll give me their product and give me the creative freedom to go do whatever with it.
Right.
I can take it wherever. And like, and then other times it's like maybe they don't have the budget for it, but then sometimes they're like, they don't know what they want. So it doesn't come out as their vision, because it, like, you have to make sure you can communicate whatever thoughts in their head onto paper and then onto an image.
I mean, I see it through the same thing. Like the producer who I've worked with, Brian Ray, I Am Lonely Child, like dope producer. I've seen many people go into his sessions though and just don't really use him to his fullest potential because of those type things. They're like, oh, let me spend the next 4 hours, and like if I don't have something that's amazing after the next 4 hours, like if I have something amazing after this, then I'll keep working. But if I don't, then I'm not going to keep working. It's like, bro, don't you recognize like
it's like, give them a
4
chance.
hours ain't long enough to take a shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, you got to let people do their thing. You know what I mean? And like, you got to let people, like, in order for others to shine, they have to have space to shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to,
they have to have, money. I mean, money is an issue. Money is always going to be an issue. You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But try to not let it get in the way as much as possible. You know what I mean? And you will do much better for the most part,
which is
as an
hard.
artist.
Yeah. And which is hard, right? Like sometimes you're like, well, damn, like it's been 2 weeks or something. I need a gig. Like,
right.
But then you have to realize, like, what I always remember is that I'm messing up rates for other people. Because if that person has another shoot and they don't choose me, they're gonna expect some other rate and then not hire that person, right?
Right.
That echoes through like the industry. And so,
look, bro, there's always gonna be somebody out there. It's possible always that there's somebody out there who's better than you, or maybe just as good as you, and is willing to charge a lower rate. And that's just life, bro. It's like, that's you know what I mean? It's like, they're also not going to be as good at you at other things. So it's like, there's always that inherent competition, which is also an issue, because in art, as much competition there is, it's like with music, there's
no, for sure. Yeah. And
there's also no other copycats of Daddy Nat. Like,
no,
what I'm doing isn't like There aren't other people.
I
just
can
pumping
pin
out
you to
songs
an
like
artist.
me.
No.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do. I didn't even mean to do that, but that is what I try to do. You know, deep down.
I feel like this mural behind you kind of captures.
The Daddy Nat. You know,
I like
yeah,
it.
bro. You know, I always. It's funny. There was a guy. Actually, shout out to Sean Solo. He's a cat who's a rapper in Austin, Texas. When I was blowing up on Loom originally, he was also on that app, and we met through that and networked a couple times. But he said something really cool to me one night, which was that he's a rapper, of course. Every artist is their own planet. They're their own world. And that within that world, like imagine in the future, like 1,000 years, 100,000, whatever amount of time, where you're just flying through, you know, the sci-fi type world, and you go to different worlds and you land there. And it's like, what would your world be like? And so I've always really appreciated that perspective. Visualization is important, I think. You know what I mean? And eventually, again, if all goes well in my life, eventually I'd love to do like an animated TV show or something like that. So
that would be really
cool. You know what I mean? So I've always
you make your own world.
like Rick and Morty and like all these shows have always been and doing.
I can see you with like a
stuff
midnight
like
gospel type.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
That
But a
would
not
be-
podcast style. That shit is crazy that he fucking adapted that.
You know what's crazy is so many people, like myself included, didn't know that it was a podcast.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
Like what?
Only reason I knew that is because Hannah's sister's boyfriend, who's actually in a band called Reed Southall Band, a super popular band in the kind of country rock scene, opened up for Whiskey Myers actually a few times, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Dude, you fucking shot that. You were there.
Oh yeah.
You know,
when I saw you randomly backstage,
dude, that was crazy. We were at a Whiskey Myers show, and Hannah's sister's band. His name's Reed. He's playing in the Reed Southall Band. He plays drums. Anyway, literally, we're like backstage, just kind of cooling it, watching Whiskey Myers from the back corner. And all of a sudden, I like see a dude who looks just like Suril, and I'm like, "Hannah, that guy looks a lot like Suril." And it was you.
it was me.
It was bro. That was so nuts. I was like, that was actually really funny. That was cool. That was a fun night.
That was so random. I remember I parked like, oh my god, it was such a
dude. The parking sucked.
The whole shoot was like kind of, it was just weird. Like we didn't know exactly when the band would like come out, right, and like how to follow them into the.
And you were helping out one of your homies or something like that, right?
No, so there's a brand that I shoot with, the whiskey place, which you've come with me to there before,
right. And we went there.
They were doing a collaboration at the time with Whiskey Myers.
That's right.
And so I was shooting with them and collabing with like whoever Whiskey Myers was, using for media. And then we were shooting it backstage, and I was like, I think I got done, or I was like kind of like almost through like shooting when I saw you, and I was like, what? Like, this is so random.
That was so random.
Yeah, I was glad you were there because I was going to be there for like another hour or two, like by myself.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Yeah, exactly. yeah, bro. That was fun, man. That was a fun night.
Yeah, that was kind of wild, and it's weird. Like, I still don't think I've posted any of the photos. Like, I really need to.
Really?
I don't think I have. Yeah, I'm sitting on.
So there is something about having too much content. It happens with music all the time, bro. Where I have so many records that obviously are ready in the hopper, ready to go, but I also have so many records that are like not, and like they're.
Like
I've actually become
half cooked up or what?
Well, just half cooked. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of like. Well, so here basically when I make stuff, I try to make something new every single time I sit down on the computer. It inspires me. I think it's important to just always be sharp from that perspective. Maybe 15%, 20% of them are something that I actually end up pursuing. And then of that, probably a third are ones that actually become some real songs. So, we're talking like if I do 100 songs, 3 to 5 of them become real songs. You know what I mean? Now, these are like 100 ideas. If I do 100 ideas, 3 to 5 of them become real songs. So
I didn't know you did. I didn't know you did that many.
Well, so like
wow.
I mean, I feel like I can produce half of these will be hip hop beats. You know what I mean? Half of these will be, stuff that just is just a really cool sample that I build a drum beat around, and I create a bass beat around, and I like make what can be considered most people to like a Beat Stars hip hop beat type thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, I try not to think when I go to the studio, bro. I try to to think as little as possible. I want whatever makes me feel something to be where it drives me. But I talk about all this because recently I have gotten to the point to where I every 2 weeks another demo has to be done. So I got a demo done last Monday. It's been a week ago from today. I have another song that will have to be done by next Monday. And I'm leaving town on Friday, so it'll have to be done before Friday. And that ain't that hard to do. You know who Kenny Beats is? You ever heard of Kenny Beats?
I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's done a lot of really big songs with a lot of artists, but he's like a one of those YouTube
like
producers type things.
Yeah, for sure.
Love the guy. He always talks about this thing called don't overthink shit. DOTS, like don't overthink shit. And I apply that to almost everything I do in music because I do have, I believe, a gift, and I'm gonna naturally use it. I'm not gonna overthink anything. But then after I don't overthink anything, that's when I want to reassess it and like make it fit into this perfect picture that I want it to be. A song's never finished, and I don't know if you in Lightroom anything's ever like if there's a finishing point, like the perfect 100% done. That is does not exist in music. There's never 100%. Dude, unfortunately,
I struggle with that too. Like I said, I feel like right now I'm sitting on like maybe 6 months of like worth of photos and reels and whatever, right? I'm just pushing everything out there. I just have too much, like you said. And
you gotta drop it, bro. Start doing one day at the same time or something.
Yeah,
like that,
and actually today I just set a schedule to I'm super good at posting on Instagram like reels and photos and stories. Awful on TikTok, right? And I'm like,
so I'm
really,
so good on TikTok, but
I get
so
paid on
bad
I get paid on Instagram to post reels, but I don't get paid on TikTok, so it's like more of a.
You don't have a TikTok creator fund?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I didn't get TikTok till like last year. Oh. I was
early on I guess I just.
You were very early on TikTok. I never even had TikTok downloaded until last year.
Bro,
I think.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I start to realize that there's like people who I really fuck with on TikTok now who are like blowing up and stuff. They have like 40K follow. Like getting a 400,000 followers it's harder than it ever should be. Like today, like getting followers on TikTok sucks today, bro.
Oh, it's not as easy as it.
So
was,
like,
right?
I'm very thankful that I don't worry about followers anymore. I feel like I have plenty, and I really just need to worry about good content. And
you were in early too. Like if like
Very
right now I'm trying on TikTok, and I mean it's hard.
It's hard, bro.
For sure.
It's hard, bro.
Even on Instagram, like
Instagram Reels are hard. I like it. They're fun though.
I feel like I've been doing a good job of like keeping up with the trends and making content, like going places. Like I literally
Did you crush it?
Thank you. And like
Are you posting?
I could do better.
And your reels, or only your reels?
Well, my feed, like photos too.
So basically, it'll ask you.
Oh yeah, I keep most of them on there. Okay. Like I have like
don't post a lot of mine on my feed,
thumbnail.
But I need to start doing them all to my feed because I do better on my.
I have to keep a thumbnail because I plan out like 9 posts ahead.
Yep. On
what the color scheme is gonna look like.
Yep.
And so I have like a blue and orange like pattern.
Oh, dope.
Kind of
cool.
Deal. Yeah. Maybe.
You seem like you're taking it seriously, bro. At the end of the day, it's like, dude, like I went so ham and then I didn't post on TikTok for like 12 months because it literally made me uninspired to make music in certain ways. So I basically had to, and uninspired in a lot of ways.
Becomes a chore.
I basically like had to remove myself for a bit. I'm back, but like, you know, at the end of the day, and I wish I would have kept doing it. I think anybody does, but
are you like done with it right now or what?
No, I'm on it. Yeah. So I'm posting again right now. I'm posting like about once a day, like not nearly as much as I used to back in the day. But everything I'm doing is either from the podcast or from my music, basically, like those little clips that I think you were posting on recently or whatever. You saw me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like
it's a grind. It's a never-ending grind, bro.
Dude. I have like a time in the day where I have to post stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like around the same time when I go work out or like, you know, like, or have time with my girlfriend or something.
Sure.
And it's just like, it's like hard just every day.
That's why you have to be very like, if you really want to be successful on social media, like if you really want to be like mega successful on social media, it almost takes like everything from you. Like it takes like every bit of you to like properly.
That goes to what I was going to tell you earlier that I said I did something today.
What you got?
So like it was kind of weird, but I felt like it would have been very authentic, like engagement to get.
Okay.
Right. So somebody reached out to me in my DMs today, or they followed me, and I looked at their profile. And I was like, oh, they have like almost 600,000 views, and so I ended up like he was talking to me about my engagement and like just little things like going into detail with it. And then he was talking about what he could do. Now I get a lot of these like all the time. Excuse me.
Me too, bro. All
And
the time.
yeah, and so like let me hear him out. Like he was legit. Like and I looked at his posts and they had like 80,000 likes, 100,000. So I was like, okay,
Yeah, but
like the
were they
ratio
good
matched
content,
up.
though? Were they good content?
Yeah, it was solid. He was an entrepreneur.
Oh, dope.
Like
Okay,
so,
cool.
all his
Got it,
stuff
got
was
it,
like
got it.
watches and cars, right? So it was like matched the vibe. And so he's like, I can do this for you, right? And it was 3. He was gonna have him and 2 of his like colleagues or whatever post, and they all had 500,000 plus followers. So it was like 1.5, 1.6 million followers combined. And like they were gonna do is post one of my photos that I chose to post on their story for 24 hours, tag me and like say a little comment, right? And then he was like kind of bargaining with me a little bit. I was just like I think he said 120. I was like, dude, 100, and just for 24 hours. And he guaranteed like if I do this, like I'd want more. I want like a bigger package and like get more out of it. So I did it, and like so I'm like right now I'm just waiting. I don't know what it's like. My phone's on airplane mode, but
Sure.
I want to see what happens. Yeah.
Interesting,
So-
bro. Do you think you're like worried about it or what?
Yeah. I mean, I knew like I was like
I always
this.
find these shortcuts to be a little misleading.
No, for sure. And I took it with
But
like
$100 is worth it. Still.
I took what it was. I was like, it's $100, right? Like I've lost $100 in roulette. Like I don't care.
Totally.
And
yeah,
so
yeah. That's the right way to
it's-
look at it. But also,
this would be
it's
a better
like,
winner.
Totally, bro. It's tough, man.
And I
It's like-
figured one of the posts was a reel, and I figured that if I could get enough views on the reel, it would just pay for itself.
facts.
So that was
How
kind
do you
of
do that? How do you get paid on TikTok? Do you have to like or
On
how do you get
Instagram?
paid on Instagram for reels?
it's like some like kind of I guess maybe what TikTok does.
same
I
Creator
guess
Fund
I don't
type
know what TikTok's is, but like Instagram's is like it's called bonus reel plays or something every month, and it's like a different amount for like a different amount of views, but
Interesting.
the payout is god awful for
yeah.
how many views
So
you
is
need
TikToks, yeah,
compared to YouTube. Like
Yeah. But
But you're also creating like 20-second, 5-second videos.
totally, yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the like. Right now, I get paid like
I think every
a third
photographer.
of a cent per stream or something like that.
Wow. On YouTube?
On
On Spotify. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So like,
Wow. Every photographer
Still
hates
adds
Instagram
up.
right now, man.
yeah, well,
Because we're forced to make like I feel like we're forced to sit in some corner every night and make a reel like a monkey, and then we have to post these reels of our photos. Like we can't even just post the photo alone.
yeah, you can't. No,
It's
no.
awful.
Well, I mean, dude, adapt or die.
Yeah, no, exactly. We can like sit here and complain about it, but
yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
like if you're gonna
that's what I always
if
tell
you're gonna
myself when
do
I
it-
start going down those rabbit holes where I'm like, fuck, why isn't this working? It's like, bro, it's like
I'm gonna
I
complain,
don't
but I'm
make-
also
yeah,
gonna
I
keep
don't
doing
make-
them.
Yeah, I know. But it's like we don't make the rules, bro. Like the market is the market is the market is the market, and that's always.
I want to start like a petition for the algorithm of Instagram.
Well, just get Elon to buy Instagram, bro.
Yeah. I feel
From
like
Zucks. Yeah, he'll definitely let it go.
well, maybe he'll bring it back for it to be a photo sharing app.
Oh, dude, I just want to buy MySpace. We'll all switch to MySpace again.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, cool, dude. Well, we dived into some really dope stuff already. I do have a couple questions that I like to throw out there, just kind of like to everybody who comes on the pod. So, obviously, this is a music podcast. I like to keep music in there a little bit. So, can you tell me? Maybe you don't remember. Maybe you do. Can you remember what the first album that was ever purchased for you, or that you purchased? It could be either. So you could be a little bit older. So it could be the one that was
I know from when I was younger.
So I mean, I remember mine was Aaron Carter, and I was 5 years old.
Mine was Backstreet Boys. When I was like
Oh,
4
sick.
years old, I like loved the Backstreet Boys.
Maybe mine was actually Now 5.
I was literally like 4, maybe 5, yeah.
It was like no, so you remember the Now hits or
Yeah.
whatever, bro. I had
Yeah.
Now 5, and then I also got an Aaron Carter CD.
That's funny.
Those were the two
Dude, I
things.
remember I remember I was like 4 years old. We had
So you
like
got Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys is dope, bro.
and I remember during Chris, that one, like all like the pop, like NSYNC. There was like
Yeah.
Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Was all
So you
the
grew up on like
popular-
Mega Pop whenever
on
you
the-
were like young.
yeah, on the '90s stuff.
Did you get like a CD player?
Yeah, I had a CD
With,
player.
like headphones, like those little headphones. Or whatever
We
they
had
called
me
it?
and my brother. Actually, sent him a picture of one the other day. We had like one of those like those
proper
like
ROMs.
those like talk recorders or whatever. Like I don't know what they were. You put a cassette in there.
And then you could record over it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
had
know
one
what
of
you're talking about.
those, and I saw a picture of it the other day, and it was like the exact one we had growing up. It was weird.
You'd like fuck up.
Yeah,
the
I
tapes.
remember I used to carry this little radio around when I was
Sure,
in
sure,
elementary
sure.
school. and I would have it like on like the hip hop station on the bus, and I would have like this janky.
Oh, you had like an actual little radio,
like a mini, like a radio, like maybe you take camping or something. I don't know, but and that was even before iPods and Zunes.
The shit was pretty fly though.
Yeah. So probably
I can remember whenever
Boys.
like the iPhone first came out, when you could like be on the internet on your phone while inside of a car. That was crazy, bro. Okay, so your first album though ever was Backstreet Boys.
I don't remember which album was the one you just sang for sure. Yeah, that was the one.
It was probably their debut album. I can't remember what it was called. Might have just been called Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll figure this out. So what is your favorite album or song that you're listening to the most today?
Oh, right now today?
Yeah, or like this week, or like over the that comes to mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, it's really weird. I'm like really bad with like song names.
That's okay.
And so,
You know who sings it?
Yeah. So it's Pusha T in the new album.
Yeah.
There's
What's the Kid Cudi song?
The Kid Cudi one I've been listening to, and then the other one where I don't know the name of it, to be honest.
What part of the album?
It has Kanye in it at the end.
Oh yeah.
And he talks about like bodegas and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one, and then I've been listening to
insert song title here.
Since EDC, I've been listening to a lot of like house music.
Okay.
A lot of like I think I was just
to?
like I don't know, just like random like Chris Lake. There's like sounds like a Diplo song I
He's
like.
new, right? Chris Lake.
There's like no, I think he's like pretty well versed. He's coming to Austin or nearby.
Told me about somebody who like just blew up basically like
here or
no, like just at a UDC. He like played a really big show at UDC.
Oh, I don't know which one it was. Maybe we went to it.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was
Mal and Ricky shat all over at EDC. They were just like
on your podcast, yeah.
Bro, you fucking sound
well,
like
they've been like 4 or 5 times before, just as like fans, right? And now they go. But yeah. I think maybe it was just like you see the bigger stages or something like the main. Obviously, like
you weren't going there for that, though.
Well, yeah. But still, like the experience we had was like undeniably insane. Like the whole like
the golf cart treatment, bro.
Yeah, I mean we didn't get on a golf cart, but I wish. But we had good stuff, yeah, for sure. We had like
no golf cart.
We had like the artist stuff, but
yeah, well,
you're not supposed to say you have it. Apparently.
Yeah, well, you know,
I don't know.
I still feel like I feel like that's
Ricky got a haircut
a big
backstage
accomplishment.
That's what we had. We had free drinks and haircuts.
Yeah, it's dope. I'm just saying. I feel like that's a big.
It is a huge accomplishment.
It's hard to be like stoked about those things in the moment, or maybe even show up. But yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Okay, so your biggest albums right now on the house side, or biggest artist right now on the house side? What are you listening to?
Dude, no, actually, the most I've been listening to right now is the Harry Styles album.
Dope.
That shit is amazing. Every song slaps. Dude.
I mean, bro, like we all knew he was capable, you know.
But every song to be like a #1 record, like that's how freaking good I feel like it was. Most songs, maybe.
They're all like very quintessential contemporary pop, and he nailed it across the board on that.
I probably listened to that album like 6 times over the weekend, so I didn't even know why I forgot about that one. But
a lot of the the producers he had on that album, top notch, chef's kiss. So yeah,
that was amazing, man.
Well, damn, bro. Well, okay. Well, is there like any like underground artist or anything you're listening to right now? Anything that's like maybe like a little low key that you're like, you know, you keeping the you know, the tuck whenever the girls like, you know, you're like, I mean, maybe it's R&B, maybe it's not, you know what I mean? Maybe you bang to it, maybe you don't. Who knows, bro? But
so there's like a lot of songs that, so I am not fixed on any genre or artist, right? Like
sure.
I listen to a very wide spectrum of music.
Hip-hop, pop,
country, dude,
whatever,
like everything, house music.
Same. For the most part, same.
And so, and so like there's all these like little like hit, like I know, like to me, like I know people don't know this song or something.
Sure.
And I'm like, and they're bangers, dude. They're like really good, like, and I'll like catch it whenever like we're in the car, like we're in the mountains last week in Denver, and Kirsten's like, "What's that song name?" I'm driving, and I was like, "Oh, you like the song?" She's like, "Yeah, it's really good." And then like I catch her listening to it like over and over. Yeah. I have like a few of those, but I'm so bad with like song names. Like, There's one person I listen to. Man, I can't remember any of the names. Yeah, sorry.
That is fair. All right.
There's just like a bunch
If
of
you think
random
any of
artists.
her after the fact,
Maybe we can.
I'll add them right here.
I'll add them in the comments, or you got them right there.
Probably in the comments.
There you go.
Yeah. But
You just made a magic rectangle. You
I
got to
know,
make
right?
now.
I do that on every episode. Or at least I try to, bro. Well, cool, dude. I want to throw a couple of those questions in there.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up next, man? Like, what's big on Surreal for 2022? Hit me with it, bro. Give me anything.
So
Yeah.
I actually, man, for like 3 or 4 years now,
Mhm.
I've been like practicing different like pitches and like cold emails and like DMs, whatever, right?
Sure.
And like recently something's clicked, or maybe I got the wording down right or something, and I've been able to like grab way more leads in the past 2 months
Oh wow.
than the last like 6 months or a year. I don't know.
Wow.
And yeah, it's like the rate of like responses is like insane. And so I'm gonna build a course eventually, and I do really want to do. I gave myself last year like about a year or two to like really like hone in on like what I wanted to shoot and like the aesthetic and the style behind it.
Sure.
And I think I'm like have it down, and like maybe a few more trips in. I
Yeah.
want to release a photo book as well,
Wow.
like a coffee
okay.
table book.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess the course will probably be more lucrative than the coffee table book on average. Man, who knows? But
No,
like,
actually, it's gonna be really cheap. I'm gonna probably put on like Gumroad or something like that. I want it
the
to be,
course?
yeah, I want it to be like
Cool.
accessible to like a lot of people
Why don't you
because
just post it on YouTube for free?
I don't want it to be free. I guess I'd have to start like a channel and then like start bringing in AdSense, right?
You could.
Or I
You
could just put a course out.
I mean, you could go either way, but
Yeah.
YouTube's only gonna enhance you.
No, for sure. And I want to do but I wanted to do where like it could be affiliate marketing as well for like other photographers. And it would be like, it would range between like a beginner to like intermediate
Okay.
photographer and go over like more of the business side.
Okay. And that's like
Of
I don't know,
photography.
Are you familiar with like Udemy or any of those like platforms that teach you?
Yeah.
things?
What
Is that
there-
type of thing
there
that you're
is-
trying to do?
Yeah, there is what's the Skillshare
Yeah, sure.
is huge, right?
Sure.
That's like massive, but
Never
I also
used it,
feel
but
like it's
massive.
I feel like it's an overload too
Yeah, for sure.
of information. So
sure.
like if I have something condensed down, like I've bought many courses right before, and there's always like something it lacks, or there's something, and maybe mine will do the same, right? But I think there's like they're always leaving out a big chunk of something, and then I think I can fill in the gap and like what I'm noticing is not being filled, and that's something I
Yeah.
want to work on.
I mean, I think the problem is that the average person you're selling to, in any situation like that, like mentorship, is like a large percentage of them lack the ability, confidence to actually pull it off.
Like to take what I have, or like to buy the course.
To take what you've had and actually make it successful themselves. And it often has
Mhm.
nothing to do with the fact that they aren't capable. It's just they're unwilling to put in the work, or they basically just wanted to do this to see. Like, I have this theory, and I think everybody, I don't know if some people would argue with me on this, but I have this theory that everybody is looking for this magic formula. Like, I took a limitless pill, and all of a sudden I figured out how to read charts over the course of the weekend, and now I'm a fucking stock trader on
Crypto
Wall Street,
guru.
bro. It's just like but I'm talking about anything that they want to do. I have
Yeah.
this theory that everybody thinks that there's like this thing that they can do,
Dude, that's
or
the
this
thing.
this formula to grandeur. And
Mhm.
here's the fucking truth, guys. No, there's not. There's pain, suffering, and as long as you're willing to endure that for a long time,
Sadness.
it will work out, bro.
Loneliness.
Like, I'm just like, bro, it's just like, no, it's just like, how bad do you want it, bro? It's just like, that's really what it comes down to, is like,
Yeah.
how bad do you want it? Because at the end of the day, like, me going to that many followers on TikTok or getting this many fucking plays on one night, which is fucking so minuscule in the overall scheme of what I want to achieve, or what anybody who wants to make a
Yeah.
career out of what I'm trying to do wants to achieve. Like, There is no magic formula, dude.
Mhm.
I just fucking worked for 300 days in a row where I posted videos, way too many of it. It's just like, and I'm not even trying to draw attention to my accomplishments. I shouldn't even be talking about it. I'm just saying, like, any of that stuff is like,
it takes time. That's
bro,
the
it's
thing.
like, not as only take time, but it's like I've just been surrounded by motherfuckers my whole life. Like,
Dude,
even family members who, like, think that there's, like, this secret doorway they can take.
Yeah.
Or, like, it's like going to a show and they think there's some sort of gate or fence that's going to, like, allow them in. And maybe that works for fucking 0.00001% of people, but, like,
someone that bought a Bored Ape or something, but it's like it doesn't work for 99.9% of what you're saying. Yeah.
Bro. Yeah.
So I think, like, you know,
but even then, like, what are you
it takes
do?
it takes
you have
years.
Bought a Bored Ape, you were a fucking nerd who bought a Bored Ape.
Yeah, but you could have
like,
sold it like
maybe
too
you sold
early.
Too early. Maybe you held on to it. Even if you sold it like at $500,000.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're gonna know how to make $500,000.
But then, like, do they know what to do with that?
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, bro. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, if somebody gave me $500,000 when I was 18, I would have squandered it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Maybe I would have made it into a lot more money. If I took $500,000 and made it into 50 million, I would have squandered the shit out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. So it's like, if you have that kind of stupid success actually happen to you, there are a lot of consequences. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I feel like even the back, like when I started, right? Like when I started thinking,
look at JC, bro. Look how much like money he probably came into and like went through it at times. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know, it's like everybody. Bro.
I've seen him do some crazy shit with money,
and
then I see him now, and
like
it's definitely
Malone,
different.
Maybe
yeah.
not JC. Like take any of them. You know what I mean? Take Logan Paul. Take any of them. You know?
No, they all like grow into it, right? And so
Right.
like what we do, like I don't know, I've been shooting for like over 6 years, and and I'm not even where I want to be yet, right? But I'm sure like way closer I am now.
You do see the success. You do see like the you see the things.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you know, it's just a matter of like what Ricky and Mal were talking about on the podcast was like it literally is like one step. It's like one baby step, one step, and it's like those little things you do like after work or like early in the morning or whatever. Those little things get you there.
Yeah.
And it's like, but most people, like you said, aren't gonna want to do it. Like it's so much easier just to chill. It's so much easier like just to like go to sleep or something, right?
Yeah.
And you know, guilty of it at times, but like yet you have to keep going. Like you have to keep doing those little things to get you where you want to be. And I think that's the difference is people choose to do it, or people are aware of to do those things, but they just don't want to do it. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, it's also like causes like uncomfort. You know what I mean? Like you have discomfort. You have to like, you know,
like everyone
girl's
picks
at
their
home
discomfort.
right now going to sleep, like, and I'm not there with her. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like anything that you're doing in life, like there's always going to be, I think anything worth doing is going to take sacrifice. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think it's supposed to be hard. I think you're supposed to take a leap. Part of the reason I quit my whole job is like, dude, in a lot of ways, for a lot of people, everything's on the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my entire savings, all that shit is on the line. But at the end of the day, like, what does that shit even matter if like you're not really stoked on your life? Like, what the fuck is the point of any of these things?
Exactly.
Bro, if you're not stoked on your life, like, I love this guitar. This is my first guitar I ever fucking bought in my entire life, bro. It means a lot to me. If I don't achieve my dreams, I don't give a fuck about that guitar.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like. I don't
No,
know.
dude,
I do give a fuck about it, but it's just.
It's just another thing.
I'm willing to do anything for it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not anything, but it's just like I'm willing to do a lot for it. And I think a lot of people don't have that. I certainly didn't in my 20s, you know, or maybe I did in some of my 20s, but
no, I think
you grow into it. You grow
into it, but you also like. Well, I've been reading Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, and it's like, you know, being a drifter.
Napoleon Hill's such a genius.
If there's one thing you can take away from this whole podcast is to read Outwitting the Devil, and maybe a lot of people have. It's like it's a huge book, but like I feel like
audio book.
I actually tweeted today, like I was like, or yesterday, like it needs to be required for everyone to read Outwitting the Devil.
Dude, so does Eat, Think, and Grow Rich or whatever.
Think and Grow Rich.
You're
thinking Eat, Pray, Love or something.
No. I always just call it Eat, Think, and Grow Rich for some reason, bro. I always think it's three things, but it's Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Exactly that one. So I read that one first, and I'm on this one. And he talks
Did
about
you just read that one recently, or like
Think and Grow Rich. I read, I think, during COVID.
Okay, yeah.
And that changed my whole perspective on everything in life. Everything.
You go to
Completely
sleep
was
with
a
Abe
different
Lincoln
person.
Sometimes, like you just bring him to your table.
Yeah,
or
my
whatever,
cabinet.
Bro. It's like, hey, Lincoln, I need to bring you to my table to.
I
have some
tried
big
that.
Things.
I tried. So in the book, he
The
has
very
an imaginary cabinet that he like goes to ask questions to. Like I've tried it with photographers, with like with people I look up to, and to me, like I need to
corny,
like
huh?
I need to get into it maybe or something.
Bro, the 50s and the 40s, that would have been super. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you know.
But going back to the book,
We
right?
got
So
TikTok these days, motherfucker.
so he talks about like, excuse me, one of the things you need for like true achievement or true success is
Sure.
is definiteness,
Right.
Definiteness, and like if you don't have that, like if you're not definite of what your goal is, what you want, if you're not definite of what you're doing today or what you're doing right now, then like nothing matters. Like if you don't have that, then there's nothing. Like
Well,
then you're like succumb to a life
term,
of
though. That's the one thing that I realized from that book is that
definite long term, definitely short term.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, actually, I took this from a Grant Cardone book, which
10X.
I didn't finish. I didn't read 10X. I read the one after.
I did the audio book of 10X.
Yeah, I only do audiobooks. What's the one he did after that though? It's like
I'm not sure.
Be obsessed or be average, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I
don't know if I could do another
so
Grant
intense,
Cardone.
bro. But he talks about it, writing your goals down every day and just kind of like freehanding it. So I do that every day, and yeah, like that actually has helped me a lot. Like where it's like I'm reminded of like the things that I want to achieve on a daily basis, and even if you miss a day, it's like you still remember like what your ultimate goals in life are. It's kind of like I don't know, there's like some permanence involved. There's like some temporary permanence involved in that. You know what I mean? Where you're like, at the end of the day, we are capable of fucking absurd things as human beings. But it takes focus, it takes discipline, and it takes hard fucking goals. And the only way you're ever going to be happy in life is if you put obstacles in front of you that are fucking not easy to accomplish. You know what I mean? It's like, and so I'm trying to do more of that in my life. I'm trying to do, you know, like I almost feel like I never achieve what's on my plate. I don't know if I've ever achieved like in a day been like I've done everything that I need to do in a day.
I also feel like we probably like load ourselves like pretty heavy.
Way too much.
Yeah. I learned though
that works okay with
if you
me.
can do 2 or 3 things that like were on your list.
But
like,
I'm also
that's
very
a day.
grateful when those things happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like when I can do 2 or 3 things, I'm very thankful. But like I have a hard time celebrating the small wins sometimes or whatever. So I'm trying to get better at that. But
yeah, I feel you on that. I think like because the next thing comes too fast.
Totally.
And so you don't even appreciate like.
Or it's like maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you like maybe the next thing isn't as big. You know what I mean? But it's like still.
But it also like it's our responsibility. Like I don't do that great of a job. Like if I got like a dream shoot this year and like I think I moved on so fast that I while editing and like while like working on it, I'm like holy shit. But I think at the end, like after I just like moved on, I was like, what's next? Or like when's the next one, right? And so yeah, I think it does take time to stop and pat yourself on the back. That's super important. As much as we get down ourselves as like do more, we have to self-reflect too.
Yeah, being hard on yourself is like it's a double-edged sword, I guess. Dude,
That's fine.
I feel like we've had a pretty good pod.
I think
thus
so,
far.
yeah.
I wanted you to have a plug before we finish this guy off. Like, where can people find you? Is there anything coming up next that you want to talk about? Is there any? I mean, you talked about the course, which I think is dope. Look out for that for Suril Patel. Make sure he does it on YouTube only, exclusively YouTube, for free only. No,
For free.
Yeah, but what you got coming next, bro? Like, talk to me. The floor is yours. This is your plug.
So, well, right now I'm just working on building relationships with the brands and things like that, like things like behind the curtains. And so any support, honestly, is just to follow me or keep up with my work or give me feedback, show me what you love on Instagram, on Twitter. On Instagram, it's @Suril_, and on Twitter, it's @Suril93. And I'm sure you'll plug how to spell my name. So
Suril out here, Suril Patel. Y'all go follow him right now, man.
thank you.
Daddy Nat Podcast episode 4. This was fun, bro. I will definitely have you again. Maybe we'll do another one with like Lucky Roll, or Lucky Roll, Lucky Roll, or Ricky. I was gonna say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But having
That would be
homies
really
on here.
cool.
Yeah, we got to do a little reunion.
Yeah.
With the gang
Super
at
down.
EDC. No. Cheers, guys. Appreciate all you guys. Till the very next time. Peace out.
Been staying up all night, staying up all night, staying up all night. Ha, na, 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 na. Ha. Cold 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all we need. When I drag myself to the after party, I get drunk as hell and I leave.